waiting over for the next semifinal game to start. It's going to be Team Vinny, I believe, versus Highground that took it over No Talent. So we'll see exactly how that goes. But until then, you got us to break things down before that game starts.
Oh, absolutely, and happy to be here. So that last match I was watching from over the shoulder, of course. Haven seems to be a very favored map this time around. Last
Mhm.
Sunday, it was only seen once, and that wasn't until Grands. Actually, we didn't see it the whole entire time. Bind happened to be a favorite, so I'm just trying to think what happened between then and now that really made players kind of change their mind about the map. And
I think
because
Haven's like one of those maps where you can experiment with things on the fly and then choose a site to go to without too much of a plan. So if you're a team that has pickups that just got started together, you can just play and then have Haven as your comfortable spot. Bind and Split need a lot of organization and pre-planning. With Haven, you can just end up playing a default and then choosing one of three sites and then playing a normal type of diffusal game.
okay, all right, so that makes a little bit more sense here. Um, it's very interesting. It's very interesting how the players are adapting to the maps as well
Mhm.
as the, the the abilities I feel like are being used a lot more. It's not just being kind of played as a shooter as much. I feel
Yeah.
as players are getting more comfortable with everything that's going on the map. But yeah, Haven's just slowly becoming everyone's kind of favorite here. Either that, or I feel maybe Bind or Split. Split especially uh, is a thorn in a lot of people's sides because B is so. Mid B, well, I guess mid B, middle is just so heavily favored,
Yeah.
and when you
Yeah.
break that open, I feel like it just everything kind of comes crashing down on you on that map, and you have to have such a long back rotation.
Yeah, it's like Split is one of those maps where it's once again you need to have like a good understanding of exactly how to play offense, and if you don't, you end up fighting for mid. It's not as fun. Even on defense, like retakes are a lot harder. You have a lot less time because you have to rotate, as you mentioned, all the way from the backside of the map. When it comes to bind, things are a little bit easier. Teleporter can have some cool plays. It's the map we see right now between Highground and Vinny. The comps are looking like we have an Omen on one side, replaced by a Breach on the other. All the other characters are going to be the same. So more smokes on one once again. And then on Highground's team, more opportunities for that Rolling Thunder and entry frags.
Gotcha. And I like Omen on this map because he can do the trickster kind of plays, with the
Yeah.
teleporters going in and out of it, uh, really hitting those sound cues and throwing the other team off. So I really hope I see some of the Omen tactics that I've seen previously in other matches. They're really fun to watch.
Yeah. Round one, though, not many abilities available. I think Omen's trying to set something up. Venerated, finding JJ Dang through a smoke. Winners looks for some control as another big smoke comes in, not letting your boy Dre get any opportunities for shots, but that's where the defense can come in. Harris, though, finally opens up, gets a few more hits down. It's going to be a 1v3 situation. A low target enemies, though. Silva with the highest health, peeking forward first. The spike down on sight. These guys will be bunkered here, and Harris only has 40 health.
Yeah, not looking too great. Gonna look to take one with them. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize on that. But yeah, two of them on high ground were extremely low. Could have been winnable, but it's first round.
Yeah. Not too much of a big spirit swing, but in terms of rounds, these quick two, you can see how much they actually matter. They can boost you up, and this time we'll see an investment, a full buy from the defensive side against Classics, so it'll be that much harder for these guys to get anything done. I think Pune is going to save up for an operator for his
Yeah.
team. Oh
No,
no, he's
purchase
buying
came
too.
through. Yeah.
Yep.
And they're already, halfway to an ultimate for Pride, which we've seen plenty of Hellfires come down and really capitalize in making or breaking play.
Pride is finding a lot.
A
He gets
lot.
more. It isn't anti-eco. Finds the
Woohoo!
last two. Nice 4K to wrap it up. They don't take too much damage. Just a few armors taken off. One kill.
Yeah,
Now to
absolutely.
pop right back.
And one thing that Vinny did right there that I hate to see it is the stacking. When you got
Yeah.
three heads lined up, you're laying it all out on a silver platter for someone to take it right off of there. So it's kind of running out. I know it's it's round 2. A lot of people just kind of run out, see what they can make happen. It's not, you know, a really big crucial round, but I mean, there was some money spent there.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Delzor getting taken out early, they didn't have a chance to put the Sage Wall down on the right. And then because of that, it's all over. But Harris right now, sprinting through the site, kind of looking at birds a bit too much, though, taken out by Pride while looking at an owl drone.
Yeah, just
after that
stood out a little too far. Not enough coverage there. All right, some more picks coming through inside of Highground onto Vinny.
Cage triggered. Cage triggered.
Double cage from Dang. They're trying to find some more. There's some pre-fires. These guys will try to group up once again, but Valiate is there at the back, trading outs.
Finding himself in a 1v4 situation this time, as if the 1v3 wasn't bad enough.
I have retrieved the spike.
That's the spike in the lineup, but it's not possible. 3-0 round, and that was a full buy 2. Venerated picking it up, and Vinny's going to have another long hill to climb. Done it once before, but will they do it again?
Yeah, Highground is a fantastic team. The last match that they played here on stream, they showed absolute dominance. And I think it was this map as well. So Pride taking the lead 7-0, has his ultimate on hand in case things get out of hand. And Hellfire is actually ready on both sides.
Yeah, both these guys have the orbital strike. One can actually delay a plant from going down. The other can stop a diffusal. How many more picks can they get moving through hookah slowly? 3 people up on A. Not defending anything right now as it's a 5-stack, 3 on long. A Cypher cage with slow orbs. The combination will make it so easy for this team to rotate past. And there's one ice going down. A wall trying to be broken by Valiate, but he's actually spamming the backside. They're going to get delayed by a long shot. That'll give enough time for Venerated to move over. And now it'll be a 3v5.
They're still 2 over on the side of A. They have not rotated yet, and now the full rotation through teleporter should come through here. Here comes the first Hellfire.
The dodge. There's a second one, I think, coming straight down onto hookah to make sure no one's there to defend it. JJ Dang with just a ghost finds more, and Venerated playing with his own finds a second, has the operator, tries to go for the shot, can't pull it out long enough. And now JJ will pick it up and find the ace, opening up the site and closing things out in fast fashion. Just a ghost to start it, but a huge op to take away to end things with.
Now that was beautifully played by JJ. Picked up the operator because, I mean, I guess just in case if he has to back off, save the money.
That was huge from him. These guys were not supposed to win that round, especially with the setup. But after he had that huge jump out of hookah, got the double tap down onto Sage, moved on to the site, found a few more. First ace that I've seen so far. And now Venerated looking a little bit shaky. Delzor immediately trying to find a replacement for a backup frag down onto hookah, but the revival and that Sage Wall being used to make it a 5v5 once again.
Buying some time here, trying to get some intel. Full commitment over to B, though. There is a rotation from the breach, and if you go slow enough, they'll probably forget about their backside here, so we're going to have to be careful. And breach will be met by Cypher. We'll see who wins that exchange, and that is the breach.
Oh, wow. Hunter's Fury getting put down from all the way back at the B site, looking for targets. Doesn't find too many, though. Maybe just a little bit of damage. Before that, a resurrection taken over, letting Justice Harris play once more. Al Drone coming in. I don't think we'll have the time to see anyone, though, but that'll prove to these guys that they have a safe rotate over to A at least, but we can see the breach looming from the back.
Absolutely.
They'll choose to double down, try to go through hookah. Smoke there, forced now to a big choke point, and your boy Dre has the angle. Doesn't care about trigger discipline if he has spray control. Finds 2 and makes that round end fast.
Absolutely. Those back rotations and those flanks have been... Look, he's about to get another one. They've been amazing, playing it
Yeah.
patiently, doing the slow roll from A to B, and not taking that back route. I've seen a lot of teams, you know, in the midst of panic, will all take the back route from A just to kind of sprint there. But, you know, he played it cool. He crept around, and he did it twice. They did not learn from the first time to have somebody watch the flank.
Yeah, an ace answered by a 4K. And now they have the ult advantage as well. Bram, your boy Dre will be, I know Breach will be so close to his. Yeah, he's got Rolling Thunder after that big round as well. That ult can be used anytime for a huge swing. Doesn't need a dead body. Doesn't need a safe space to stay for 3 seconds. And Justice Harris kind of possibly wanted that before peeking. Venerated getting aggressive again with a flick that misses, but a shock dart that can hit. They fly past the site. J-Dang already in. Venerated finding the shock dart onto Vinny. And he moves past the smokes, has an angle, finds the first one. But we know that Venerated is back here with another 3. Popped off that middle side of the round, but Delzor finds Punage. And now it's all up to Venerated.
Yeah, with 8
Close us out in
health.
heaven.
Have to wait for that heal to come through. Everyone kind of holding their ground right now, waiting for them to pop out.
Sage has about 38 seconds left. Delzor goes for the quick TP and dodges everyone. Are there trap wires in the way that slow down the Sage? It does. She'll have to go through a second, I think, over here that might slow her down from the window. No, it's just a Cypher Cage activated at the perfect time. Waiting. Knows there's one from the back and one coming. The defensive side on the front just gets the spike down to get her team a little bit of creds for their abilities next round, but this one not going to be won. Another point, an ult charge going over to both Venerated and Valier.
Yeah, that was a nice try. I mean, it was all they could do, you know, being in a pinch over there at A where you have so many open angles that you can be shot from. Just to hop in that teleporter. Waited just enough time, but the traps from Cypher slowing them down. They just were able to pull out their gun at the very last second there. So those traps actually really helped protect him on his way from Hookah. The high ground up 5-1. It's not a very steep hill to climb for Vinny, but the way high ground is playing, it's a bit more solid than Vinny, in my opinion, at this moment in time.
Yeah. The way they're using information once again, and the fact that they're actually playing off of each other rather than just one person opening up rounds, that's kind of what I think is going to take them up to the next level. Right now, all seen over at B long. Now they know they've rotated. We'll see that Cypher on the top left side rotate right back to A super fast as soon as they find some more.
Smoke's down.
Smokes come down. Molly's there. All teammates now looking over to help out and ice stopping. More shots coming in onto Harris.
My ult's not
He might
ready.
choose to teleport and get aggressive into U-Haul. Pride waiting for an audio cue for that spike to be planted so he can spray through. Finds one on the Molly, actually. Delzor trying to make a hero play. Gets shot down. And then huge trades coming in as Bouncer tries to entry, but Pride stops and flashes all the way around. J-Dang up by himself. Screen red, but Eyes also with Fury looking for more shots in. Pride, though, closes out that round. Gets the clutcher off of his pedestal. And now 6-1. They're taking that lead and running away with it.
Yeah, Vinny's going to have to not let it get to them. Pull things back a little bit. I mean, you have JJ 10-6, and then the next, closest teammate is Vinny at 2-7. So, the discussion between the teammates, I'm sure, is going a little something like, okay, guys, let's pick it up. Let's, cool it a little bit. Maybe play back just a bit, get a little more intel before running in, and try to maybe win a 1v1 here and there before we do a 5-man push.
Yeah, that strat, though, is not working too well on the side of Vinny. Valiant will look for an offensive
Found
pick
my
as they
wire.
try to move in.
Cage
A
trigger.
cage down, they hear
Found
it.
my wire.
Throws it, has a one-way right to the left side. Backs all the way up. Finds one person going from the back, another. It's anti-eco, but it's getting intense. As Vinny has a Spectre, a wall stopping, but there's a gap. And your boy Dre finds a way through, gets 2. And now it's just up to Bouncer to salvage the situation, but he's being held on all sides. He knows a little bit of teabag coming in that this is an impossible situation.
Oh yeah,
against
I mean
4 members.
the misplay on the wall and just letting them in. You turned your back on it, not realizing that they could slip through. That really hurt them.
And this might be wrapped up. Shock dart actually being used, so that's actually bad overall for the money that Bouncer will have to spend next round and overall in the game. Smoked off as well. Chooses not to use the recon drone just yet. Just buying time maybe for the team to reset mental. See
Yeah,
what
which
they
is
can
very
do.
important. I mean, just
Yeah.
take a step back, take a breath. You know, 7-1. I've seen crazier comebacks. You know, their overall economy is not bad. You know, they could buy some nice weapons this round. And you got 4 ultimates ready. Vinny's 1 away from having his orbital strike as well. So not so bad this round. If they could make this into a 7-2, I'm sure they'll feel a weight kind of lifted off their shoulders. Even though it's still down 5, it'll feel a lot better.
Yeah. J-Dang will look for more. Justice Harris playing so aggressive this game. Last time it worked out, but speaking against Venerated's ops might not be the best bet, and Bouncer gets a Sova. Delzor picks up Harris after that. They have a little bit of room, and Vinny's there as well to pick things up on Shower's side. Kunaj watching the cross flank, but with 3 big smokes coming down from Brim, it's going to be nigh impossible. Has that wall, he can boost over if he chooses to. Never mind. Chooses this time to get the resurrection, but Booty Bouncer slides right in, gets 2 off for that 3K. Your boy Dre now hiding off. Might not have a chance to defend this too well. This could be the swing that Vinny needs, but Valiate once again from the flank. They're not watching it enough. And now everyone's holed up for Valiate to pick off 1 by 1. He finds 2, now a 1v2. Making it a 1v1, the spike is planted. And he'll bait it out, your boy Dre.
Your boy Dre. Just
Maximum brain capacity, uses off, baiting off the sounds of the spike that round.
big brain
This time
right there.
pros will fake and find the pickup. It'll be 8-1. And Vinny, even under the best circumstances, a 4v2 will not be able to find a round. It'll be 8-1. Another stop, and that's all we've seen from Highground this far. The last game, I believe, was 13-1.
Now that could have felt really good, and then it flipped, and now I'm sure slight depression is kicking in on the side of Vinny after getting destroyed like that. I mean that's hard. That was a hard pill to swallow. But hopefully they can pull it back. And, I always wait for the side swap because, you never know. Mentality of the team swaps, the skills, the communication. It's a totally different game swapping from attack to defense.
We'll have to wait to get there first. Big blind coming in. Valiate can capitalize off of it. The boy Dre to follow up with a 2-hand as well, but they're already out of hookah. Jay Dang looking for a shot here. Finds 2. Sage Wall comes up and just in time for him to get that neural theft off. Venerated now has to back up just a little bit. Finally, the offensive using a lot to get in, but Venerated stopping the spike planner from surviving afterwards. Harris finally down. The aggressive peeker, they now know everyone plays passively. The orbital strike coming in as well, and Pride finding another. These ultimates from long range connecting, and then Pride finishes things off. It's expensive, yes, but the defeat of the moral high ground for Vinny's team is not. There's going to be so much more worth for the high ground team. They're not going to have a chance for a good mental, and that means on the second half, if they end up losing the pistol round, they could just fall straight into the abyss of another 13-1.
No, absolutely. And you hate to see it this late into the bracket, I kind of wish things were a little bit closer here. But High Ground is just, I almost want to say showing off at this point. They've swapped, when it looks like it might be Vinny's round, High Ground's like, no. And that just feels bad. I mean,
Yeah,
every
that's-
glimmer of hope that Vinny has seen has just been smothered.
I'm wondering if they're giving them these picks on purpose just to get their 2v4 highlight reels up. There's the big bounce back of Rolling Thunder, and then right back into Prize Crosshair is where Harris gets thrown. This time can't be resurrected. Shot darts coming in, but Dre has the footwork to dodge. More shots though, can't get away from that one. The fault line comes through, aftershock afterwards. The offensive team held back by a ton. Don't have any control on the map. They know they're not all the way over at Hookah. Giving
have
it
a
up though,
flank coming in.
Valiate with another long flank. And frankly, doesn't need any trigger discipline as he picks up another player. They cannot stop flanks. They can't take sights. Vinny looks out of gas. They can't win fights either. Again, Valiant connecting onto J-Dang. He's looking so good here from the flank side. This match just looks over. Vinny, the
Yeah.
nameplate man, can't find anything here either.
I mean, a flawless after that is, like I said, it's the morale of Team Vinny. I don't know if they're gassed out, if it's just been a lot of matches in a row, or if Highground is just all on Hilo gummies and they are just 8% better.
Shout out Hilo, but there's like, I don't know. I mean, we saw these guys play so well. Maybe it's just because it was Haven. I was talking about it a little bit before that pregame. I mean, Bind and Split are those maps where you need plans. You need zone control on both sides. Like, having 5 people playing this left side is not going to do much if the A side doesn't have info.
Careful now.
And you give away showers for free. It'll be fast rotates.
Yeah.
Valiate with a Cypher over here will be able to hold things down with his cages. Get these off angles. It's just going to be free for Team Highground.
Valiant just playing really, really well these last couple rounds here. All right, but it is a 3v3 situation, a little more doable for Vinny. Don't count them out just yet. They played patiently back and watched for those flanks. Maybe they got a little smart this time around here.
Oh, but not again. Valiate moving up, and he's feeling himself. Not going to see a POV here just yet, but if he starts to move fast, he can catch up. If there's a bounce back, if these guys don't just target A completely, it could spell trouble. And checking the corner is not going to be enough if you can't land the shot, J-Dang. He made such a good play for the ace, but other than that, his team has not found any footing in this game. Now everyone exposed. They know exactly what site they want to take. Bouncer has the shots, but Pride swings the tides. He gets that round finished. 12 rounds, 11 given over to Highground on the half. And now Vinny have Everest to climb to come back into this game.
Oh, absolutely. That was a little demoralizing. I'm not gonna lie. That showed from Highground just a level of communication too. I mean, you have your people on A doing the slow flanks, like not
charges left.
you know, panic running to the site, doing the slow rotations, not, you know, getting overzealous. They're playing their game and they're playing it very well.
Mm-hmm.
And just keeping patient too. I mean, this game is as mental as it is reactionary.
Yes. And the mentality, I think, of Justice Harris is going to be the worst, because last game almost dropping 30 bombs to this one, just that one kill the last half. It's going to be hard to come back from that, but asides refresh is really good. And oh my god, the Sage spot right now fully boosted up. They're not going to be able to take that block out either. Might play trigger discipline, might go for the first tap, but if that player does, if Delzor finds the way, they'll have to connect with 5 more, and so many projectiles being thrown out of Hookah. The time though, his block of ice melting right now, and his hopes and dreams as well. Rock hard now down to tears. He can't find a way, and he doesn't. They rotate off a prime position not used.
Cage triggered.
J-Dang hit as well. Tragedy for Team Vinny.
Yeah, and Highground not full committing, not running in, and now the rotations come over to A where they can plant. So they killed enough time over at B to get all their attention there.
Yeah. And this is such an important round for Team Vinny. They need this pistol.
Yeah.
And right now,
I don't know.
I'm seeing
Look at that Cypher flank. The flanks are so good.
yeah, I'm seeing a coffin dance strat all the way here in U-Haul, and Pride is there to pick up 2 again. Vinny finds Dre, but Pride might find the 4K or the ace, the jump to stop, and Vinny getting on that defuse, but Valiant is there. And oh my god, no!
He was spinning around.
The miss spray, can't find the head on the spin. Vinny comes back. Is that blunder what they needed? Some levity into disaster.
It was funny to see.
No way that strat works. That's the second time I've actually seen a spin be the downfall of another team trying to stop the defuse.
Yes, that was hilarious, and I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad Vinny got that. I'm not biased towards any team. I'm glad Vinny was able to get a round off. Hopefully they can kind of turn things around, and we're not seeing a complete blowout here. Are they gonna name that move the carousel? Just
imagine. I think in some leagues in CS:GO, spinning while defusing the bomb is actually banned. So I'm curious to see how Valorant approaches with it, because it definitely, that little spin
I mean, get good,
rises
right?
to the top charts, man. I'm telling you. But still, this is going to be a long game for Team Vinny. I think they'll feel that with these slow rounds that the Highground team keeps pulling all over. Even with classics, they have such map control, such pressure to still have the A players confused. With the Sova there too, they still don't know if there's people at B. Finally blowing out all 5 together. The spray's there, J-Dang trying to find it, but stacking up time and time again, it's not possible. Harris finally waking up on the defensive side, although an eco round finds a way back to get confidence in this game with a 4K picked up. With the Spectre now moving up the ranks of the leaderboard. We'll find 3 rounds in total, but need to have 9 more.
Yeah, it's still a long road here, and Justice Harris has his ultimate, so he could easily teleport from one side to the next, which will really help on the defensive end for them. As long as he doesn't get picked first, of course.
Yeah.
It's not too much to ask. Doing the classic 3-2 split.
And this time going for some showers control. Maybe this was the conditioning plan all along. C2 over in Hookah. Try to find one with the shock dart, but I feel like that Sage player, Delzor, is going to move on. No, actually, he gets hit, healed up now for 35 seconds. They won't have that option. Valiant, though, getting spotted from a camera. Recon, Owl Drone coming in. This is a full buy round from both sides, and it's action over at Hookah. Slowed down on ice. Delzor can't find a way to skate by. Valiant, not on a flank. Head first, finds Harris, the next lurker. He has elbow control. And now the whole team switching over to A, so this over push from Vinny gonna get baited out. Oh my god, Team Highground playing so well, both sites. If you don't have a good observer, you can't keep track because they're on the whole map. And Valiate with another pickup onto J-Dang. They're looking for their 12th round win.
And it's flawless too, so that's... I mean, the patience, you have a Sage Cypher guarding B. That should be really hard to get into.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Sage peeked her head out in Hookah instead of playing the corners, waiting for them to peek. And you can't get overzealous that you're down, 3-11. You gotta, I guess, think less attaggy, I guess. I'm trying to think of the words here, but don't.
Yeah, you gotta peek less and then do more with your utility.
Yes.
Buy time, let your team flank, play for area control. That crossfire they set up really good, but I feel like that Sova dart that came in, the recon, showed that crossfire off, and at that point, if you don't get past the wall, you're kind of done for. And
Yes.
having your Sage be in that position, never a good choice.
No. Yeah, you hate to see your Sage being the first one out, and unfortunately on the Team Vinny, they're the first one out again.
Yeah, this time
Cage triggered.
taking trades. Vinny not looking too hot right now. J-Dang finds one again, goes for 2, but from the backside, itching a scratch he didn't know he had. He gets taken out. The straight transfer, though, there for Vinny.
Yeah, not 2v2
Missing
situation.
first, but adjusting. Yeah, now a 2v2.
spike has not been planted yet. They'll spread out. Unfortunately, he does not know that the spike
no.
is still at B, so he rotated all the way over to A. Gonna lose some time there.
And this, if this Brim player can make it out, if he's gone,
Shock dart.
that's going to mean
Shock dart.
that the orbital strike is available. And this round is already closed out. Yes, Punij is down.
Out of charges.
Don't figure out where he is. The recon bolt coming in. Orbital strike. Bouncer moving straight through. The smoke tries to find it and has some hope. A glimmer still there. As Bouncer gets in on Pride.
Oh, let's see. Oh, he's trying to look for another weapon. Like, is he trolling? Is he just saying, you know what? No.
They're not giving up. They're hanging on. Finally get that op. But man, still, it's so hard. Down to one person in that round. That'll definitely affect the overall economy. Can barely even afford some of these players real guns or even abilities if they choose for big firepower. Yes, J-Dang to buy some coins, some cameras, has to actually bunker down with a Spectre rather than a Bulldog.
Yeah, gonna have to play it nice and tight here. We had some ultimates ready on both sides as well. Let's see here. Omen still has his ready. Vinny's got his orbital strike though, which is really great on defense.
Last round we saw one strike used, but because of all the deaths that round, it allowed Highground to get some ultimates of their own. You have to remember, you can get these charges that he's using with this big combination of a Hunter's Fury combined with a Rolling Thunder.
Great play from Highground there. Just busting A wide open, super fast.
I know exactly where you are.
Now it winds down. 3 players coming in. They know exactly where they are. No flanks. Head on. 1v1s they need to win, but against Venerated, J-Dang with a Spectre might not have enough to do. Right there, a resurrection attempt coming through, but Delzor getting taken out. All up to J-Dang. It's going to be 13-4, closer than before, but not enough as Highground move on to the finals. Dominant performances in every single game. Not a single one close enough. No one can touch this team. Maybe on the other side of the bracket, there's someone, but right now, looks like these guys are going to win the entire tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Just a dominant display, dominant performance from Highground. The intel that they're able to collect in the mind games, just having that patience on everything, whether it's attack or defense. You know, there was no gung-ho, there was no running out and dying, you know, multiple times. You know,
Lester Harris, I mean, he was doing that every single round. On the other side, no shade, but
shade.
You know.
He did. He just kind of ran out, shot a bird, and then got shot. I mean, and you can't do that. You know, it's 1 minute and 40 seconds. It doesn't sound like a long time, but it's plenty enough time to get in, get some intel first before you make that heavy commitment there. And Highground just getting the intel that they needed, and when they needed to back off and re-rotate, they waited till the clock ticked down. They waited for those rotates from A to B before making that jump back over to A, and they did it beautifully. And I mean, the gun game, they were also, I would say their gun game was better though too, which is also very important in this game. You know, not just util. Yeah. It's going to come down to the gun game as well. And yeah, just on the side of Vinny, losing your Sage first, couple rounds in a row, that hurts. You have slows, you have a wall, you don't have to peek these things, and you know when you just get overzealous. I don't know if you're antsy or you know what's going on mentally, but as a Sage player, you are the support, and just like any game, you're supposed to keep safe. At least try to keep safe.
I think that like Team Vinny still played really well, especially on attack. To get to sites, it was just the retakes from the Highground team were just like too overwhelming. Like just holding post plant time after time. There were so many rounds with once again just one player alive. Highground always makes it seem like the game is very close, but you look at the scoreboard, it's not, and that's because they're very efficient as to going down to the last moment. They know pinpoint accuracy, who's going to be trading who. If there's someone clutching, they're there. Pride again, time after time. The 2v4 Team Vinny had the advantage of taken out because of Pride. Pride, you know, wrapping up eco rounds. Pride there with the ultimates time and time again. He was definitely the star player, I think, on Team Highground, just with retakes time and time again.
Yeah, with the
either
flanks.
Defending them and with flanks. We also had Valiate who was coming through. I think that was a big pop-off game from him as well on the second half. But still, it's like if you can't handle post plants, if you can't actually get to a planting spot and give Valiant enough time to come in from the back, it's like it's impossible. There's no place in the game where you feel comfortable, and I think that's the unfortunate part for Vinny. They have strengths, that team, but as a whole, High Ground just played the game better.
Absolutely. I have to 100% agree with you on that. When you go in as a team and you plant, it's time to reverse the roles. It's time to not, rush in. It's time to take a step back because now you control that pace. So control it. Back off, spread out. Watch your rears because the flanks have been phenomenal, and you want to watch your backside and not all be pointing in the right direction. So some cues here and there, some things that you really got to work on as a team is knowing who's looking where, because that's so important, is to watch each other's back too. Not just watching your own, but you pretty much one person is responsible for an angle, and if somebody fails to look at that angle, you can go down just as quickly as you planted, and that's unfortunate to see. I hate seeing a plant and then 5 seconds later they're just cleaning house and then just diffusing. That just that's a little disheartening. It's like, all right, we got it, and then it just all falls apart. And you see,
I like it when that happens, because that's just like the prowess of giving up sights and then playing it so perfectly afterwards. Even with abilities in this game, it's that much harder, but at the same time, that much easier sometimes as well if you save things up from the other site. There's like a whole micromanagement game in turns with the macro of rotations getting into sight. So it's cool to see, but that was the game. I mean, High Ground dominant the entire tournament in best of ones. I think now we'll have to play a final best of 3. So that'll be against, I think we have a little bit of a wait until that moment. So until then, we'll see exactly who's playing out. I think it's Smoke versus Hidden Potential on the other semifinal side.
Yeah, because unfortunately that was 13-4, so it went by a little faster than the other round here. Oh, man. All right, so we are going to take a quick little break here, about 10 minutes, wait for this other match to wrap up, and as soon as we come back, we'll have a best of 3 grand finals, High Ground versus the winner of Smoke and Hidden Potential. All right, so chat, stick around. We'll be right back. Love y'all, and we'll see you soon.